Hello, grade 10. This is Van, and welcome to Ponderings. And we are on still on distant learning because your safety is being prioritized. We don't know if there will be strong earthquakes that might really destroy our school buildings, and we might become casualties. It's so delicado. Kaya we are on distant learning. Now, class, this is asynchronous video lesson number two. The first one was about narration in your public speaking, for your public speech. This time is the exposition or the teaching or the explaining. So it's the segment number two. The first one is narration, second one is exposition. Okay? So, kung matatandaan ninyo sa ating mga previous lessons, when we were on face-to-face classes, we had this everyday explainers. And so we have examples such as what are TikTok filters? For example, you're talking to somebody who is not into TikTok. So how can you explain that? No? And you learned about description. Okay? Description is one example of exposition, or we can say one type of exposition. So in sorry, the usual noises, yung dog kakahol, yung manok titiklao, okay, or yung tricycle dadaan, or bubusina, the things that we can avoid. Okay, so harking back, description is its focus is imagery. Okay, so if you are to describe, if you are to do exposition utilizing description, you got to appeal to the image, this imagery. When we say imagery, that means the sense of sight, smell, taste, touch, audio, hearing, olfactory, the smell, even the organic or your emotions, okay, or kinesthetic, the movement. So such words like this on this slide, you can see bright, polished. No, these are for sight. No, then we have soft, smooth. This one is for touch. Okay, we got expressive. This is for emotions. Okay, or organic imagery. Again, lively could be kinesthetic. So in short, class, when we are to do exposition in our speech, we got to describe. When we do description again, we appeal to the imageries. To the things that our senses can really what do you call this? Our senses perceive. Yeah, that's the word perceive. Okay, so take a look at the example. Take time to read it and take time to look at how those words were used. And okay, next one. Sequence. Okay, another way to do exposition is by telling the sequence. Okay, so for example, this example is about how to make group chat really effective for group projects. And so you can see here there are certain words that tells order. Okay, first, next, and then finally. And so here are some. I kind of got some words, so that you may be able to use this when you're trying to explain the sequence. Okay, in your speech. This the first box is about to begin the process. Okay, we have the words such as first, to start with, in the beginning, at the start, before anything else, initially, the first step is. The next box is the continuing the process. You can use words such as next, then, after that, the following step is, subsequently, later on, once that's done, afterwards, moving on. And the third box is about ending the process. So you can say these words of finally, in the end, as the last step to conclude the process at the final stage. Lastly, the process ends with to wrap up. So these are the words that you can use to tell a sequence. No? And class, when you tell the sequence of something, you make clear. You explain well. So sequencing is one type of exposition. O baka gagamit kayo ng sequencing. Or I think I really feel na I can say I'm sure na you will be doing description too. Okay? Remember, after the narration, you got to really explain the issue to the audience. Ito yung part na yun. This is that part. This is what exposition segment is catering to. For the audience, or for the viewers, or for the listeners to really understand what the issue is. And for you to make them understand the issue, you got to really explain to them. You got to teach them things about the issue. You got to describe. And all right, another exposition that we can see here is the comparison contrast. And so check the example. Take time to pause the video and take time to read this one. In this example, it's face-to-face classes versus online classes. So if you want to explain well, you can choose to have a comparison and contrast, especially if there are uh, two different things involved in your speech. No? And let's take a look. I also got some words that you might be able to use on your speech. You're planning to do comparison contrast. Okay? So on the first box, this is for comparison. You can have words such as similarly, likewise, in the same way, also, both, just as, equally, in a similar manner, correspondingly, comparable to, just like, together with. And for showing a difference or contrast, you can use words such as however, on the other hand, in contrast, unlike, while, whereas, nevertheless, even though, instead of, though, but, although, conversely, rather than, differently. Okay? And so again, you can do comparison and contrast too. So you can really enlighten the audience or the viewers or your listeners on what the issue is. No? Kailangan mag-exposition ka. Okay? Yan. Alright, so here's another one. It's called classification. Right? Take time to look at the example. This one is about friends. Take time to pause the video and try to read this. No? You will learn that in order for the audience to understand something really clear, you can also do classification. Dito pinakita ano ba yung klase ng kaibigan na mamimit mo sa high school. And so kind of study this, baka ganito yung style na gusto mong gawin pagdating sa exposition segment ng iyong speech. Okay? Okay, like what I did in the other examples, I also got some words that you can use for categorizing or classifying. No? Like can be divided into, may be classified as. There are several kinds of, sabihin mo isa-isa yan, one type of, another kind of, this group includes, and then you tell those things included, belongs to the category of, is a part of the group of, some examples of this are, fall under, is categorized as. Alright, so those are examples of exposition that you may use on your speech. Okay? And again, exposition is to explain. It acts as the teaching part of the speech. And here are some tools of exposition. Take time to pause the video so you can kind of think which ones you can use to really explain well the issue that you are to talk about on your speech. Okay? So, again, harking back sa mga na-discuss na natin, the first segment is narration. Situate yourself in the issue. Ah, ano yung karanasan mo sa issue? Tell us the story. And second part is exposition. Tell us or inform us about things about the issue, mga bagay na kailangan mong i-describe, i-classify, i-categorize, o sabihin yung sequence so that we can understand the issue. So everything, that's needed for us, for us to understand the issue. Okay, teach us and explain to us. So yan, that's the exposition asynchronous podcast for today. Tomorrow, I'll be doing the argumentation. No? Yes, an asynchronous video about argumentation. So grade 10, my students, Ruby, Sunstone, Garnet, um, what else? Pearl, okay, Open High School. Did I forget some? Okay, ito pa, Ruby, Sapphire. Ayan, Sapphire. Please, you can check, always check our FB group. Nandiyan lahat ng mga lessons natin. All the PowerPoints are already shared there. Instructions are there. Video lessons are there. Even examples of previous grade 10 are there. So just simply scroll down or use the search button there. Okay? Good luck on writing your speech. And also, I'm flashing once more the rubrics for your speech. And sige, good luck everyone and keep safe. And hopefully we come back to face-to-face classes. This is Van. Maraming salamat. And see you once again on the next asynchronous podcast or vlog. Thank you. Salamat. Hindi ko ma-post kasi to kaya may lalagyan kasi nakaharang yung post. Kaya kanina, rinig na rinig natin yung mamang nagagalit. Okay. Thank you.